The comrade gave an input about Africa. We will never agree, because as Leninist organization that believes in the party, we will never agree that political parties must be destroyed and banned and all of that. No. There is always ideological contestation, and ideological contestation cannot be equated to divisions. It's not tribalism. It's not racism. It's not xenophobia. It's a contestation of ideas, and that cannot be reduced to a division. So we believe in the party, and that's why we formed the party. And we will never agree that parties must be collapsed. So, but I was very impressed with that input and how observant you have become that the EFF hasn't communicated on Ghana elections. The EFF hasn't communicated on this or that utterances of leaders in Africa. Very correct observation, which must be kept and be encouraged, that the EFF must be taken on if there are inconsistencies when it comes to communication, especially on African matters. So when we support an African leader, it doesn't mean we'll agree on everything. There are areas where we're going to disagree that nobody will think, generally yes, but on this issue, there is a problem. Because we're independent thinkers.
Yes, it means Julius Malema is disagreeing with what Traoré has done to resolve political parties. So Malema still believing that there's a need to have a political parties. So let me take you to what is happening in Uganda. Then I will come to share my views on this issue.
So you spoke about the election in Uganda, and you say we can't support Bobi Wine because his flag is got some similarities with France, and therefore can't support France. And on the other hand, there is this tyrant called Museveni. So you have to make a political decision as to what becomes a posture of the organization. When you are presented with two devils and you have to choose a better devil.
The United Nations is in Uganda, but he has not spoken. We are really disappointed that the Secretary General of the United Nations is in Uganda, but he has not spoken about the gross human rights violations that are ongoing in Uganda. He has not spoken about the abuse of democracy in Uganda. He's in Uganda, but while he's in Uganda, opposition leaders, including myself and Dr. Besigye and others, are either under house arrest or on the run from the military. We are really disappointed.
Yes, welcome and greeting to you all, family, brothers and sisters. That is an opposition leader from Uganda, Mr. Bobi Wine, expressing his disappointment by the United Nations representative in Uganda to what he claimed a violation of human rights. In an expected move, Julius Malema, the leader of economic freedom fighters in South Africa, has expressed his views on what is going on in Uganda. Why he didn't support Bobi Wine, and of course at the same time opposing President Yoweri Museveni. And this brings me to understand why Captain Ibrahim Traoré has decided to dissolve these political parties. Let me share what Malema has said, and then we'll come back to you.
So you just said to us, we can't choose Bobi Wine But you never said anything about Museveni. Whether we must choose Museveni over Bobi Wine. Because Museveni must go. The immediate thing is that Museveni must go. He has been there for too long. And he suppresses people. And he rigs elections. And he beats up people who don't support him. He must go. On that one we must agree. Whether Bobi Wine is a good alternative or not is a matter of debate. But as a principle, Museveni must go. He overstayed and is suppressing people who want to express themselves. There might be better people in Uganda who are unable to express themselves because of fear that is instilled in them by Museveni. So,
yes, that is Mr. Julius Malema, the president and commander-in-chief of Economic Freedom Fighters in South Africa, expressing why sometimes didn't support Bobi Wine, and of course opposing President Yoweri Museveni. Have been listening what Bobi Wine has been saying. Please let me take you to another clip of Bobi Wine here.
Today, the 17th of January 2026, and the time is 9 a.m. in the morning. My wife and I have been under house arrest since the 15th of January when we had elections. And yesterday, our house was raided by some police officers together with a number of other unknown individuals in plain clothes. They used ladders to climb over our fence. They cut off our electricity. They cut off our cameras. And they were being assisted by a helicopter that was hovering in the sky of our compound and providing them light as they were doing what they were doing. Amidst that raid, I was able to use my skills and escape my house. But I know they're looking for me. But even if they succeed and get me and do whatever, I want to say this to you, fellow Ugandans. First and foremost, we reject whatever is being declared by Mr. Ryabakama, because those so-called results that they're declaring are fake and they don't in any way reflect what happened at the polling stations or what is at the declaration forms. Therefore, those results, the so-called results, are fake. After arresting almost all our agents, after ballot stuffing, and after shutting off the internet, the regime is trying to once again rig the elections. What happened in the polling station is a completely different story, and we demand that the internet be restored and the rightful declaration forms and tally sheets from the districts are uploaded on the internet so that the people of Uganda can see the rightful results in transparency. We also demand that they hold whatever declaration is going on until the internet is restored and until the people of Uganda can follow up on the results in transparency.
Yes, that is Bobi Wine expressing how he succeeded to escape from his house. You can see what is happening between Uganda, Museveni and Bobi Wine. Though all of them are Ugandan, but why they quarreling each other? And relate this with the decision made by Captain Traoré to dissolve all political parties and all politics in Burkina Faso. One thing that political parties are, of course, it's not bad, but right now political parties, majority of political parties in Africa, are being used by the West to destabilize the continent of Africa. If you look very keenly behind Bobi Wine is a good people, and of course he motivates and encourages many young people to go into politics. But behind Bobi Wine, there are some Western power, and the aim of supporting Bobi Wine is to take the oil of Uganda. Sometimes we Africans, we beat around the bush But let us speak the truth. We are not opposing what Bobi Wine is doing. Bobi Wine is a good leader. But who is behind Bobi Wine? The only political party in Africa that I can trust right now is EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters. And that's why you see even Trump has banned visa for Malema. But Bobi Wine is one of the African politicians who went to Ukraine. While we saw President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa being detained in Poland when he was in the way to Russia, but Bobi Wine was invited to Ukraine. What's behind? Is this that the Western power wants the oil in Uganda? And the only man who can give them access to that oil and uranium and other minerals is Bobi Wine. So they are using a lot of force, resources to support Bobi Wine to make sure that Bobi Wine will become a president of Uganda. But Museveni understood very well. Yes, Museveni is not an angel. He's a human being. He has a lot of mistakes. But what Museveni is fighting for is fighting for against imperialism. He's fighting to those who want to loot Uganda. That's the reason behind it. And this brings me to understand the reason Traoré has dissolved these political parties. Look, same people, same country, fighting each other. Reason, political parties. Reason, everyone wants to be a president. And that's why I've been saying, as Africans, we need to find our new governance systems. If we continue with these systems, good people like Bobi Wine will continue to be used by the Western power, and those who are against Western power will continue to fight good people like Bobi Wine. That's what will happen. So Africans, we need to wake up. These political parties that are being sponsored by the West must come to an end. I don't say we have to be sponsored by the East. No. Those political parties must be sponsored by the people themselves, not for the interest of those who are sponsoring them. You know, right now in Africa, we are still have capitalists and socialists. We have those who are still believing in capitalism and those who are believing in socialism. So right now, capitalism is forcing to make sure that they take over those countries that are still under socialism. And few countries as men, for instance, South Africa is still under socialism, policy of ANC. If you go to Zimbabwe, you see what is happening, ZANU-PF. If you go to Tanzania, Chama cha Mapinduzi. If you go to Uganda, of course, Museveni was there for a long time. If you go to Rwanda, Kagame was there for a long time. But take those countries that are believing in equality. Those countries has quarrel with the West. And these powerful nations, they use terms human rights, democracy to punish these countries. And that's why I've been saying, Africa to strive, Africa to move forward, we need to abolish these political parties, the way Traoré has done. Of course, you may ask, how will we get leaders? I think we need to sit down and find a new system that will bring us a leader or good leaders. Not these rallies that are taking people to the streets. You know, we Africans, we don't have discipline enough to, when we protest, to be cool. What we do is to distract things, to fire houses and something like that. The thing that is not good. Because look, for instance, I've been sharing my views on the issue of Sudan. That Sudan took loans in China, and IMF, the World Bank, built infrastructures. Then later on, Sudan fall into conflict. Soldiers bombs all those infrastructures before even repaying the loan. So what will happen? First of all, they have lost infrastructure. It means those amount of money has gone. They need to pay back those amount of money. And where did they get money? They have to surrender their minerals to IMF, to World Bank, to China. Because you don't have money. Right now, Sudan is burning. But still Sudan has debits. Sudan's supposed to pay back the money that has taken from China, from Europe, from IMF and the World Bank. And these countries will not forgive you because maybe you are fighting. It's your problem. Even if there's someone who is behind those fighting, it's your problem. You have to repay. So the next move is to surrender minerals. And that's what is going on in Africa. They create conflict. You see recently, Uganda, not just Uganda, Congo and Rwanda went to United States of America to sign agreement, peace agreement. If you listen what Trump said, you can understand that the deal was about access of critical minerals. This is not about peace. Yes, they need peace because without peace, no one can extract minerals. So we want peace because we want minerals. But the reason behind is to allow companies to have access to critical minerals. That's the main issue there. So that's how it is, that we fight each other, we enter into conflict, civil war, but when they come to bring things okay, they charge us. They want money, they want resources. So we need to be careful. So family, brothers and sisters, those are just my views, my opinions from what I heard from Julius Malema, and I tried to connect dots to what Traoré is doing. So of that, family, brothers and sisters, let me say have a nice time. See you in next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and if you've already subscribed, make sure that you share this message to our brothers and sisters here in the continent and to those who are in the diaspora. Tell them this is our time, Africa, to wake up, to unite, to speak with one voice. Let us not be divided by political parties. Let us come together. We are Africans. We don't need to fight each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa. Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make African great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.